Okay, hello everybody. Thank you for joining in. If you already joined in, we are coming to you live from Toronto, Canada. Just trying to invite as many more people as possible. Trying to invite as many more people as possible. Okay, someone needs me to share this video to them. I'm just about to share it right now. Share this to copy, and then share this to 2 more minutes. We're very close to starting this. You know what some of you can do? Some of you can start a watch party, and that way you can easily, it will prompt your friends directly. If you start a watch party, your friends will know. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we've got a special guest in the house and ready to be part of this. Mr. Lukeman Akanbi is the CEO of KIZA Africa. KIZA to Africa is going to be joining us shortly. I'd like to welcome you to today's program of overcoming limitations and breaking barriers. In a short while, we're going to be joined by our special guest today, Mr. Lukeman Akambi, who is the CEO of KIZA. When it comes here, yes.
Morning. Can you hear me clearly?
Finally, we have Mr. Lukeman in the house. How are you, sir?
I'm very good. How are you?
I'm good, my boss.
Can you hear me? Is it okay?
Yes, it's okay. Okay. Do you have more lights to put on your face? The light behind. Oh, you want to close the window blind behind, because the light from the window blind is giving us it make it darker. Perfect.
Is that okay? No?
Yeah, that's better. That's better.
Okay.
Okay, great. Welcome to our program this morning, Mr. Lukeman Akambi. This program is called Overcoming Limitations and Breaking Barriers, and you're being watched by over, let me see, on our different networks, we have cumulative about 150 people that tune into this program from all over the world. So it's a pleasure to have you around to share your experiences. Let me start from where we should start. Tell us, who is Lukeman Akambi? For somebody who doesn't know you, for somebody who is wondering, who is this handsome young man?
Good morning, everybody from all over the world. Thank you for tuning in and supporting Worship Media and this great thing we're trying to do out of Toronto out here. One word, how do I describe myself? Probably call myself a cultural connector. That is what I think I'm really are, and that's what I've been doing for the last 10 years. I'm trying to connect our culture to the rest of the world. I'm trying to promote, the best and the good things out of Africa to the rest of the world. So pretty much that's who I would call myself, more of a cultural connector.
What inspired you into doing what you're doing? How did it come about? How did you find yourself being a cultural connector? Were you sleeping and then you saw a vision and then you just woke up and then, or what were the experiences that led you to being a cultural connector?
I think the how do I put it? I think the awakening call actually came from when I moved to Dubai, and I was living in Dubai, and I moved my operations to the headquarters of my operation to Dubai. And I started seeing different things in how well our economy could be doing, and one of the reasons why we're not where we are. I also started realizing that our cultures were not being well represented globally, and at no point, if we want it done, somebody got to, at least, like they say, for every goal to be achieved, somebody got to take the first step. So in my own way, I just decided I was just going to try and change the little ways, because that was what was happening in Dubai at that time. Because our population, the African population, was growing, and we still didn't have, when you're going to hear about Africa or anything Africa in the news in Dubai, is too far-fetched. It's either they're talking about UAE or the Arab world going to buy up something in Africa, or expanding some business into Africa, or they're telling us about some Africans that have just been caught for fraud, caught for this. So I thought that we're not in that whole medium of, all the positive things we're even doing in Dubai, because at that time, I was running a cargo business. I had a couple of cargo planes. We had directors of Standard Chartered, HSBC. These are all Africans.
Sorry, I missed something. You said you had a couple of cargo planes.
At that time, yes. I wasn't more into the cargo business then, the cargo aviation business. So, so we had good people that were actually contributing even to the UAE economy, but yet our people were not represented properly. So there's always that misconceptions. Anyway, I decided to take it up on myself in my own way, being a musician, that's first and foremost. So I have that affinity towards the entertainment sector anyways. And I said, let me take it on. That's always a good way to start changing our culture. Started reaching out to all the different people of like minds that wanted to, achieve the same goals, both in the fashion world, music world, whatever. Just started bringing different flair of Africa into the UAE, UAE itself, and that is, I think, where it started. And I think what turned it into a mission was when you started getting gratification from people that, oh wow, this can come out of Africa, wow. And then when you now get the UAE government itself recognizing, all the efforts of what the KIZA group and and the team has been doing, then you kind of look at it and say, well, okay, so let's take it a notch further. The next notch we took it was into Kenya. That's into Africa itself. Now, coming into Africa itself, we also realized that, okay, there's a lot that we need to do at home.
Hold on, don't give us the whole package. We're going to unpack it step by step. I know you're loaded. That's why I told people, if you miss, if you blink, you miss. It is explosive, because I know the kind of person that is on the program today. Lukeman, why the name KIZA? We're going to talk about all the things that you did, the ways that you've tried to pursue your dream, but why KIZA? What does KIZA come from?
To be quite frank, we're just looking for a four-syllable, four-letter word that was brandable, that could have a bit of meaning to what we're trying to do. And what we're trying to do is to create a community or an environment where we can actually show the people what tomorrow Africa is supposed to be like. And not the tomorrow Africa we're envisaging or we're dreaming about. This is the tomorrow Africa we are already living, but we're not packaging it together and showing it to the people. So looking at different names, we explored different names, and we came across this particular name called KIZA, which was a name in a different language. It meant black. In another language, it meant come together. So we kind of picked it up and said, what, we'll build our brand around that name. It's four letters, so it's brandable, and it actually means what we want: the black community. KIZA community. Building up a black community.
Excellent, excellent. Now, KIZA, what have you done? Take us through the the different experiences that you have been involved in, the different projects that you have done to project this your vision, to follow this your dream. Tell us about it, right from the UAE. If there are things that you've organized, walk us through that, and then through to Kenya that you started talking about, and then if you did some other things in other places, this is the time we want to hear about it.
Oh wow. Okay, we're gonna
long list.
Oh wow, that's kind of a long list. But all I can say is over the course of the last eight to 10 years, we've been able to pretty much take in the music scene, because we had to also go with the trend. What was Africa itself what was trending from Africa itself? And we were just working with those trends and just pushing more what we're trying to do into the UAE region at that time. And what was trending in Africa then was our music and our fashion. So those were the two things that we started and we picked on, with the food, obviously, because that was also a big one while we were living there, because there was really no nice, restaurant that we could do. So that was the second thing we did. The first thing we did was to tackle the music, bring our music into the mainstream, and let all the mainstream DJs start to play our music, so that at least when our own people come into town, they're not too far from home. We're spending good money. At least let us also, be close to home. So after a year of doing that,
you talk to the DJs to play our music, or you give them our music. What do you do?
Well, no, it wasn't as easy as that. What we actually did first was to buy into one of the mainstream nightclub in UAE, called Amica. So we took over their Sunday night, and then we started what we call Swagger Sunday. That's how the whole music revolution started. So we started with Swagger Sunday, and then this was in the mainstream, so nobody could stop us from doing whatever we did. And at that time, I brought two DJs from Africa, one from Ghana and then one from Nigeria, do our house DJ, because none of these things exist in Dubai. So we did all of that, and we did that for a year, just to push the music, into the industry. Yeah. And then the next thing we did was now kind of look for a place. Now we can now have our own house. Then that was when KIZA came up in 2011. In 2011, we opened, we got our own place in 2011. We opened our door in 2012. We opened our door in 2012, May 6, 2012, is when we actually opened our door of the first operation of KIZA in Dubai. Now focused more on the food now, actually bring everything we want into one location. That's our sound, our sight, and the taste of Africa into one location, and then run a lot of things out of our location. We're running network seminars that's coming out of our location, lots of musical events. Now we have our own venue, so we started delving into bringing in all the musical events. We started a brand called Viva Africa, which was celebrating Africa. This was an outdoor concert. So that's how we started in 2012. And that started building. Then we moved slowly, started doing a bit. We did a bit of tour, went to Malaysia. We did a bit of tour, took some few African artists in our region, started promoting them in that region.
Which artists did you carry those days? Which artists?
I think an issue is of which artists haven't I carried. Which was carried or which was featured. We work with everybody.
I know.
We also work with up and coming artists to help them promote their music career in our region and everywhere we could. We just wanted to change the narrative. That's at the end of the day, that was what we're all about.
Did you know why I was asking you? Because I really want people to understand the caliber of person that I'm talking with, because I come to understand, especially within our community, a lot of people make noise and they are not really impacting, or they are not doing as much as they are saying, but they are out there, but the ones who are like quiet storms, who are making all the moves, who are making the real impact, they don't talk. So when you say you just carry some artist around, somebody's going to think, oh, because you're starting, you carry the name, a no-name person. We're talking about Davido, we're talking about Flavor, we're talking about who now, all of techno, we're talking about if these are people that you have worked with. But I needed people to know that when you're saying you're carrying these people, you're carrying the best that Africa had to offer.
Well, like I said, we're not even just focused on Nigeria. We're working with everybody, and like I said, we've worked with all of the best and all of African people that we've had access or communication or interaction with, ranging from the Wizkid, like you said, the P Squares, to the Tesfa Guzai in Ethiopia, to the Mikasa in South Africa, to the Freshly Ground, everybody who's a chameleon. I mean, the list is endless. The list is endless, and we're still active. We're still working with the young ones. We're developing the young ones, not just the artists. We're also developing the promoters. We've worked with a lot of promoters. I'm not an advocate of person that likes to create stuff like that. I look at the best. In 2013, we partnered with Industry Night, which was one of the forerunners of promoting the African music scene in Nigeria at that time. We partnered with them rather than start our own thing. We partnered with Industry Night and we took them international. We took their brand international. So those are the things we've looked at, relationships like that, and it has really worked for us. And that's what we're doing right now in Toronto. Since we've been here, since we started operation in North America, similar process is what we're doing. We're very, very involved with the community because that's we believe is the key to our success. We do things with the community. In Toronto right here now, we're partnered with a lot of people also.
You went to Kenya. You went to Kenya from Dubai. Yeah. Okay, tell us about Kenya.
Kenya was a very good experience. I mean, we've been doing business in Kenya since the early 2000s, so I'm quite familiar with the terrain of the Eastern African. I'm quite familiar with the social and the habits of the Eastern African. So it was very easy for us to decide to go to Kenya when we found the right partners, because we also know how it works, and we're also doing business there on other industries. So and it's been very well. We've gone in there. One of the key things that we've gone to show in Kenya was service. That we can actually deliver good service to ourselves. You understand? We've gone to show in respect. We've gone to show that thank you doesn't hurt your lips. So those are little things that we've gone to introduce into the Kenya space, because the Kenya space was quite active too when we got there, but we still had to go in there and show a bit of things, just to help improve the space, which is what we try to do everywhere we go in and help improve the space. So that's what we did in Kenya, and it worked very well for us. We got the community involved. We're very, very active when it comes to NGO participation, community participation, government interaction with we're very active with the community. That's our brand is based on that.
Lukeman, there's something you said now that I want to touch on. As you're talking about, you said you went into Kenya where the space was already active. There's so many other people doing the kind of thing that you wanted to do, but you brought something into the atmosphere that was already there, but people overlooked it. Things like, the way you communicated with people. You said saying thank you, being nice, being, packaging yourself very well, showing the best that you have confidently. And those tiny things, people overlook them. They're still looking for the big thing. They're intimidated by the people who are already in the business. But you just brought out the things that Africans already have, but we take for granted in trying to be like everybody else. We let go of these things that are naturally our endowment. We are respectful people. We are people who are humble. We are people who are thorough in what we do. Look at our music, look at our food, look at so many things. From what you're saying, you just brought out those things that were already existing, not even like things that were strange. And I wanted to bring that out as we continue to talk to people about overcoming limitations and breaking barriers. Okay, now let's fast forward to to North America. So now you came to North America. What was the experience like? I mean, what did you do in, oh, first of all, what did you do in North America? What did you do in North America? Let's hear some of the things you did.
Well, the same thing, coming there, you don't try and change what you don't understand. So the first thing I did was try and understand what exists. How do you understand what exists? By volunteering. So I volunteered to join most of the active groups, most of the groups that I believe they're trying to, make a change. So I joined, I partnered with a lot of them. And, once you're in there, you can see what they're trying to do, and then you can be able to impact your own knowledge into what they're trying to do. So that's what I did for about a year, 2 years coming into North America before we decided we wanted to try and see if the restaurant will work over here. So we came in there, we came into that space. We did quite a bit for about 15 months in that space, but it wasn't what we really wanted. But we're still able, at the end of the day, in everything we do, we still try and leave something behind. We're still able to impact a bit of what we wanted to show the people, how things could be done, both in the entertainment space. There's quite a lot I think we've done. That I think we've, like, how do I say it? We've inspired so the way people are doing things is slowly changing. One of the first slogan I think I introduced into the African community is the new African time is on time. And when you start seeing most of our activities now and our activations now, trust me, I'm proud to say they are on time, at least in Toronto. Everybody's getting there. So we just come in and do little things, things like all ages concerts now in our community is now becoming something everybody knows works. Doing concerts early instead of starting concert at 2 a.m. at night. Starting at 8 o'clock, by 11 o'clock it's over. Then there's the market makes more money. So little things like that. We've shown it, and people have seen it work, and now people are doing it, and everybody is happier. So those are the benchmark and parameters for us to see what we're doing and how do we measure our success. So in North America today, I would think at least we're doing quite okay. We're very happy with the space. The space is very, very active right now, and it's just getting better. And I'm very, very happy. The people on ground are actually now, they're taking more advantage of the opportunities. Everybody's, moving and doing things, as par anything. Look at the growth of all our African events, in the last 3 years. I'm not saying it is all due to us, but I'm saying it's all it's all an effort. Everything ricochets. You understand? So as this guy is saying he's going from here, the other guy is saying he's going from here. Everybody's doing things, but guess what? Things are now getting better. We are doing bigger things. We're selling out shows now. Our comedy shows are selling out. Our cultural shows are selling out. Africa has been seen in a different light. The other day, Mr. Easy was around. I don't know if you know Mr. Easy, one of the artists. Mr. Easy was around, and in the show was a sold-out show. 50% of them were non-Africans. That means we're winning. You understand? So that's how we measure, and those are the measurable benchmark we give ourselves, anyways.
Yeah, one thing that impressed me is the first time I saw KIZA restaurant. It was actually when Basket Mouth came, and that was. Credit to you. What you try to bring into the industry is class. For the first time, we were taking a comedy show to a theater, and it was going to be a properly done thing. People were going to sit down. Tickets were sold properly. It was done well, And then on that, I saw KIZA restaurant advert. It wasn't even the food. It was the whole environment, the way the environment was sold. That was what was attractive to me. The artwork, the food, the whole packaging, the whole presentation, right from the branding, the logo, to the presentation on the flyer, and then the pictures inside. I was sold out even before the show. And kudos to you, Mr. Lukeman. Now, I know all of this did not come easy. You had some limitations, you faced some obstacles, but there were barriers. I don't know what they are. They could have been cultural, they could have been whatever, they could have been social, financial, whatever it was. This is the time when we want you to give us a little expose into those obstacles, those challenges that you encountered while you were trying to follow your dream.
I mean, that's I don't know. I never see obstacles. I never see challenges. I see knowledge. I see acquisition of knowledge along the way, and that occurs every day when we leave the house. So there's no global. I don't know, how do I put it? There's no globe to look at the future. The only thing you can do is just have a goal. Along the way, you will have challenges. If you call them challenges, I say along the ways, you will see things, you get education along the way, you pick up knowledge, and then, just make sure that your goal is defined, and the goal is more important than the role, because that I see is the biggest problem with most of the young people trying to pursue a dream. They put their role ahead of their goal. You understand? So, but the goal is more important than the role. And I'll give you a clear example. I will have no frills over my head to jump behind the bar and sell alcohol, right? To serve anybody at the end of the day, because that is the goal, is to provide service. Now, I'm not serving because of the money. I'm serving maybe because the client there needs its service and it's been delayed. Maybe my staff is overworked or something like that. It's always about the client. It's always about the service delivery. You understand? So if I realize that my service delivery is being impacted, my role don't matter at that point. Whoever I think I am don't matter at that point. I need to jump in there and get it done so that my goal remains as par. So that's one of the most key things I would give to any young people or any aspiring dream chaser. You have to pick up those education and turn them to knowledge. This knowledge will guide you, because if you're going to do what we did then, because there was no benchmark, first and foremost, there was no, how do I call it? There's nobody I'm going to copy, because there's nobody that has done what I was doing. So I couldn't copy anybody. So everybody that is probably trying to do things now are copying us. So we're in the pioneer race. So when you're in the pioneer race, you can't see challenges. You can only see education. So when I have issues with this person, or I have statutory issues or government issues, these are all things that I know that the next guy that is coming is already defined now. You can go and look at it. This is how it's done. So I don't know. There are challenges. There will always be financial challenges in all businesses. There will always be the days that you think, oh, you're doing the wrong thing. There will always be days that you want to give up. There are days you want to run away. There are days you don't want to get out of bed because you don't even know how you're going to face, the good boys waiting for you that day. But you know what? That's what makes the success more enjoyable. There's nothing you do in life, you face those things. As a footballer, you will have injury. You could be the star player at the biggest game, you have an injury the day before, during training, out of your own overzealousness, and you feel so bad. You understand? It doesn't mean you're not still going to be a superstar anymore. The injury is going to heal, and you're still going to go back on that same field, and you're still going to deliver better. So whatever sets us back should actually not really set us back. You understand? It should be something that we should rely on to recharge us, to charge forward. That's the way I approach things. So setback, like I said, I see it as education. What I do with the knowledge is what determines my future.
Thank you so much. You see, that you just hit the nail on the head. This is the real reason why we have this program. Why we have this program is because a lot of people have tried things in their life, and like you said, they wake up and they think, oh man, you know what, it's not worth it. Every other person has it easy except me. But when we see people like you who have become a benchmark to a lot of people here, and people actually hear you talk like this, they'll be like, wow, so this person goes through all of this. I mean, I know someone who told me that, listen, what you should see are just opportunities. And that is it for me. I see opportunities in obstacles and limitations. But it is good to hear you say that. So, in essence, whatever anybody that is watching this program right now is going through, everybody goes through them. That's what Lukeman is trying to say. Your financial, your emotional, your personal, all of those things. And there's something else he said. He said that's what makes the success enjoyable and interesting. Some people are waiting for when they get to the end. They're waiting for a time when they get to the end of the thing, then they begin to enjoy it. But it's more of a process, I think. Everything you're enjoying it at the same time. Like Lukeman says, you're gaining knowledge as you go. If you go for to get some approval from the government and they give you a hard time, as you are understanding it, you're learning, oh, I didn't know. So you have to go to this office, do this, do this. So you just smile, you just gain more knowledge. So that's his approach to things. Thank you so much for that expose, Mr. Lukeman. So what should we look forward to from KIZA Tomorrow Africa? Give us a reveal into what we are going to be seeing.
Well, there's a new project we're working on right now. It's a very personal project to me. So I'm giving it 100% of my attention for the next 12 months. And that's the KIZA music brand and the KIZA entertainment. So we have one of our own artists, one of our KIZA child that decided to go professional. So that's like I said, is a personal project for me. So I'm putting a lot of attention to that. And there's also the project I'm working with some partners, which is called Afrobeat to the World.
I sing. Consider me. I sing too, you know.
Well, Afrobeat to the World is a bit different. What we're trying to do with Afrobeat to the World is there are some events, conferences and events that we feel our genre of music is not getting fair representation. So, like I said, rather than wait for people to do it for us, we're taking it by the horn and we're going to do it ourselves. So we're going to be opening, doing all these stages and all these various events in partnership, obviously, with the organizers. We just did one now in Toronto. We just completed the Afrobeat event stage was around for the Canadian Music Week, which was a showcase on South Africa this year. So that's done. Earlier this year also, that was the Afrobeats to the World stage, was presented to the world in the South by Southwest by OK Africa. So this is something that has been going on by different people. So now we really want to take it to everywhere. We want to approach whoever we can approach. Mama Festival, Ripper Bend Festival in Berlin, Uppsala Reggae Festival, the River Lake Festival in Amsterdam, and this festival. So we just want to have our own stage there. And what we're trying to do is, so we cut the red tape to come and present our own. Because when they want to come and present our culture, they only come to present the known guys. You understand? Because and I don't blame them. They are businessmen. All they're trying to do is a return on investment. You understand? So we now want to create our own stage whereby we can actually showcase, some of these other younger guys that are just about to start growing, or just getting a bit of traction. It might not make financial sense for a promoter to bring them, but for us that we're trying to promote Afrobeat and they are doing a different genre entirely. You understand? It might not be marketable, or people are not buying it yet, but because maybe that person doesn't even have money to introduce it into the mainstream. So those are the little things we're trying to do. Those are the projects I'm going to be working on in the next 12 months. On the KIZA end, there's a lot going on the restaurant side. You guys are going to be hearing next, but I'm not really actively involved in the management anymore of the restaurant. I have my partners that are actually handling that, and there is a lot in the coffers too coming up.
Okay, Thank you so much. So how do people get involved in KIZA Tomorrow Africa? How can they participate? How can they reach you? How does somebody just get involved?
Well, there's different programs we do. I mean, there's nothing to get involved with KIZA. You can get involved with the programs or the projects we're working on. Currently, I can tell you different activations we're working on right now that we're going to need volunteers for. Afrofest, we're partners with Afrofest for the last 3 years, but this year we want to make something we're trying to achieve. Like the way we operate is we always set a milestone, which we try to achieve. Last year, we wanted to achieve 70,000 participants for the Afrofest weekend, and we exceeded it. This year, we want to hit 100,000, and we're going to achieve it. So people should participate. These are all non-profit activities. They are all volunteers. Nobody gets paid, but guess what? Everybody's getting paid because it's putting Africa in a different light within our community. You know, so there are going to be different projects like that. If you follow us on our Instagram, KIZA Toronto, that's where you get most of these activities coming up. There's in the next few weeks, you're going to be seeing ads that we're going to be calling out for volunteers. Please, guys, volunteer. We need people. Send your teenager that is at home, that is doing nothing, to come. Let them come and volunteer. Let them learn. There's loads of stuff to be learned when you see these events being produced. You might just see everybody going. You see 100,000 people going. We have a team that has to control that 100,000 people. These are knowledges that people can pick up, you know. So there's, you know, stage management, crowd control, marshals, safety. You know, there's so much, you know, that these teenagers can get involved with. We know we have the African Music Week coming up. We have the African Fashion Week coming up. You know, there's a lot of projects that, you know, we are involved with. And, you know, just a matter of just following us on our social media. Whichever one catches your fancy, please volunteer. And the last one I will also say is for all our promoters spending money, bringing all these activities and events to Toronto and to North America. Guys, don't take it for granted. It's not because it's not because of lack of nothing to do. No, it is a business for them. And they are also trying to promote the culture. This thing costs money. They're not doing nobody no favor. You guys need to respect the act. You guys need to buy tickets on time. You guys need to buy tickets online. You guys need to make their job easier and exciting too, so that, you know, we all have to win. Because at the end of the day, we all win. For the man that owns a store that sells African wear, the guy that is selling music out there is creating vibe for people to want to come and wear African stuff to go to the concert. You know, so it's a pyramid. Let's all be part of that network, and let's alienate ourselves and let's support each other. You know, that's all I can say. As part of my parting was, because I really need to go. I had this thing scheduled for 30 minutes.
That's what we're going to round it up on. We're going to round it up on that note. Thank you so much, Lukeman, for coming. I know you're a very, very busy man, but I'm so glad you came, and I know a lot of people have learned a lot. I've learned a lot today also. Thank you so much, and keep doing what you're doing. We are watching and we're proud. And whenever we call you next time, please come and inspire us more. So from all of us in Worship Media Toronto, we want to say thank you for coming and attending to all of our questions. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you, everybody. Lastly, I will appeal to everybody, please follow our new project, Art Music by Tommy. Watch out at that space. Art Music by Tommy. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right, guys, that was Lukeman Kambi, our special guest on the program today. I don't know about you, but I was inspired. Did you see how he said that when he came in, he had to go and volunteer? When we came into Toronto also, we had to go and volunteer, and that is what you do when you want to learn something for free. You just volunteer, and then you gain a lot of experience, and don't jump into anything without giving yourself a little time to study it. And finally, he said that whatever you see as an obstacle, as a limitation, just see it as an opportunity, see it as a learning process, see it as information gathering. God bless you all for tuning in today. From all of us in Worship Media Toronto,